Well, it's that time again. At least here in the US, we're in that sweet spot between Halloween and the New Year. You know, when the retailers push holiday sales earlier and earlier, and all the Christmas decorations start going up, and not just in the stores, but at my neighbors. It's also a time when we start to see and do things that we don't normally do the rest of the year. Here in the Northern Hemisphere, fall and winter are upon us. Even if we live in the northern part, we've spent the last 6 months not having to worry about snow and ice on the roads and walkways. Even though we were born and raised here, the first few snowfalls present what we in human and organizational performance call an infrequent or first-time task, something we don't do very often, or something we haven't done in over 6 months. Remember, there's an entire set of new drivers that, while they may have been raised in the Great White North, have never had to drive by themselves in it, and still manage their interaction with other vehicles. Watching our parents or our friends drive in wintry or rainy conditions is not the same as having to do it. This is also a time we get together with more people in our homes and cook things that we don't normally cook. Some of us get a bit experimental. Some stick to what they cook every holiday season. But either way, it's not what we're used to doing. There are more people around, and we try to cook more things than we normally do. Sometimes we exhaust ourselves just by getting ready for a big meal. My wife is a wonderful cook, and almost every year she says, "This meal took 10 times longer to get ready for than it did to eat it." My Robservation is at this time of year, with bigger and more complex meals and family gatherings, it's a perfect opportunity to use some of what we teach in human organizational performance at home. Talking about how to utilize some of the triggers and tools we learn at work in our home reduces the probability that somebody may be hurt, either physically or emotionally, during what can be a stressful time. According to the National Fire Protection Agency, leading cause of fires in the kitchen is unattended cooking, and most cooking fires in the home involve the kitchen stove. It just makes sense that during this time of year, we're cooking more and different things, that we should prepare better and use the tools that we've been equipped with to reduce risk. Every year, deep fryer fires are responsible for 5 deaths, 60 injuries, and the destruction of 900 homes and more than $15 million in property damage here in the US, according to the National Fire Protection Association. And you may be saying, "No problem, I'm not frying a turkey, so this doesn't apply to me." That's not the right response. Instead, ask, what is it that I or we will be doing that contains risk? And how can we manage those risks? Where could we go as a resource to find out if the hazards are already known and what we can do about them? Set the example for your family and friends to be safer through their preparation and actions, instead of just telling people to be safer and pay more attention. Create a kid-free zone of at least 3 feet or 1 meter around the stove and areas where hot food or drink is being prepared or carried. Stop and seek out help when you become unsure or overwhelmed. Please use the comments section to give other tips or lessons you've learned to manage risk at home during this time of year. And remember, intentional leadership starts with you.